Hi, I'm Sterling Pratt, the author of a book called Puddinhead Parenting, Forming a Positive Working Relationship with a Child with ADD. I'm also the host of a blog talk radio show called Puddinhead Parenting. It airs at 1 o'clock on Saturdays, and I'd love for you to join me. This video segment, we're going to talk about executive functions. Previously, we talked about where ADD lived in the brain. The fact that the central control system controlled a lot of the other functions of the brain that existed in the temporal lobe or prefrontal cortex. Today, we're going to talk about those specific functions. And psychologists and psychiatrists now name those executive functions. And if you have problems in any of those areas, there's a new acronym called EDF that stands for executive dysfunction. To understand executive functions, and I'll go through briefly some of the ones that I have up here on the board, but first to give you a general idea of what these are. Throughout history, we've kind of, actually it was somewhere in the 70s, they came up with the concept of the right brain and the left brain. And that's how most of us kind of see these as fitting into the left brain. Our right brain was always the artistic, creative, intuitive, sensitive side of us, and the left brain we saw as the logical, rational, reasonable, the one that managed our time and managed our schedule and what we needed to be doing at any moment. So the left brain and the right brain really need to work together. The right brain, that creativity comes out of the right brain, but the left brain keeps that from kind of running away from itself and allows us to actually implement some of those creative, artistic, intuitive ideas that we come up with. A few of the main executive functions that people think about or consider are here on the board, but the list is much longer than this. In my book, Puddinhead Parenting, I actually have a list of 25. But let me go through some of these. Organizing. If your child has a hard time organizing either physical space or time, that would be an executive dysfunction. Prioritizing, this is one that I suffer with. If I have chores on Saturday morning, a whole list of chores, sometimes I go to my wife and I ask her which one is the most important for me to do that day. And she tells me, and it makes perfect sense, but I have a hard time coming up with that myself. Managing time. Regulating emotions, we don't see that often as an executive function or left brain function, but if the right brain is where the emotions live, then something has to be able to manage those, and that's one of these left brain functions or executive functions. Managing sleep is one. Your child might have difficulty turning off at night and waking up the next morning. Sustaining motivation. I always have struggled with this. It seems like if I'm talking about motivation is I carry around in a bucket. That bucket has a leak in it, and it slowly, as I go down the path towards a goal, it leaks out. So I have to compensate and find ways to refill that bucket. So again, if you have any questions about these, you can go to my website, addparentingsupport.com, or you can email me directly. I have my email address here. It's sterling@parentingsupport.com. Thanks.